This conference will now be recorded.
Am I audible to you? Yeah, good morning.
Yeah, yes, sir. Good morning,
Yes.
sir.
Good morning, Kumar.
So,
Yes, you are
yeah.
audible.
Any questions before I start? I was going through what is meant by AWS S3 and S3 properties. Some of the S3 properties I was going. So we'll continue the properties of F3 object properties. Okay. AWS S3 object is nothing but a file. So and the file properties in S3. S3 is a blob storage. You can store infinity data. We'll have some limitations. We'll talk about that one. Anyone has any questions? Is it clear, guys? Yesterday's class? Anyone has any questions?
Yeah, we are good.
Good? Okay, fine. So just give me 1 minute. Let me miss word, right? Word is better one to showcase. And can I write it here? Yeah, perfectly. It is working fine. Super. Control Z. Okay, where is my screen? Hope you are able to see my screen. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, yes,
Yes,
Kumar.
sir.
Yeah,
Yes,
fine.
it's visible.
So, yes, so can anyone please explain me what is the meaning of S3 pre-signed URL? S3 pre-signed URL. Please take it seriously, sir. Very, very, very important. S3 signed URL is nothing but you can go and create an alternate URL. What is the advantage of this alternate URL? You can create an alternate URL and you can set some expiry. So what will happen? This link will be shared to everyone. So you can mention it, expire this URL after 2 minutes. So what happens? People will click on it and it will expire. I'll tell you my own experience, sir. Before 2018 till 2017, I used to provide my AWS material in S3. I used to keep it in AWS S3, zip it, keep it in S3, and I used to share the URL. So I don't have any problem. So I used to go and provide the URL. But what happened as an example, one day I got my basically Kelly Technologies owners called me and said like we are getting a bill. Then I was like on what? Then I said like on S3 we are getting a bill. And we got around like $6 or $7. What is the reason I opened? This particular link was opened by 19,000 users in 1 month. So my AWS material was copied by 19,000 people in 1 month because one person has taken this link and shared across multiple friends or basically some portal. So it's very dangerous. So that is the reason. What do? You don't go and share the direct S3 link. Okay, you will share S3 pre-signed URL. That URL, what is the advantage of that URL? It will expire after certain time. So you have, uh, sorry guys, my voice is still will be low. Sorry for that. I'm still recovering. Okay. If you go back into S3, so what do you do? I think I'll tell you. Maybe I'll take 1 minute of time. Let us take an example. There is one bucket. Let's take any bucket. Kelly Amazon.com is a bucket, and this is the file. There is a file called as Intel text. This is the file. Never share this link, direct link, because this link is always until the file is present, the link will be running. That is the reason you should go back and click on object and please share the presend URL and mention how many minutes. The link should be expiring after 5 minutes. Create OK, then copy the URL. Now you will have the link. Like if you see, now you will have the link. See, this is the link you need to share. What is the advantage of that link? It will expire after 5 minutes. That is what you need to keep it in your mind. In all the real time, we don't use S3 direct link. We generally use S3 presend URL. Hope you understood this part. Okay. Please, maybe before I go into one concept, which is storage classes, which is very important. One AWS certification question is guaranteed. Let us go for a concept called as S3 pricing. What is the cost of S3? Can anyone tell me? Can anyone please tell me what is the cost I will get? What are the factors for the cost in S3? I'm getting $2 per month. Example. Why I get $2 per month? Any reasons? Based upon anyone?
S3 usage.
What usage?
Usage in the sense,
So for capturing
what is the
data,
amount
that
of
is storage.
Size, sir. How much size you keep it? On based on that, you will get charging, right? If you keep 1 GB, you will get one cost. You get 10 GB, you will get one cost. Size of the files, you kept it in files. The second one, what is that? Second one is what is that? Duration. Duration. Second one is duration. If I keep it for 1 month, I get $10. Is it clear? This is very, very important. And also, in which region you are keeping. Slight cost changes. If you keep it in Mumbai, you will get 2 rupees bill. If you keep it in North Virginia, you will get 1 rupee 75 paisa bill. You keep it in Singapore, you will get 1 rupee 80 paisa bill. Something like that. It depends upon the region also. It also depends upon when you click on it, the file is getting downloaded. So you will get a data usage. Okay. But also very, very, very important. AWS is also charging you. AWS is also charging you. This is very important. AWS is also charging you. Now, when you drag and drop a file in AWS S3, when you drag and drop, that means when you upload the file in AWS S3, don't use the word called as upload the file into AWS S3. You should call it as S3 dot put object. Okay. When you download the file, generally, what do? You download a file from S3. You call it as S3 get object. These two also you will get some pricing. Like AWS will come up and say, for every 10,000 put objects, you will get a bill of $0.01. For every 5,000 get objects, $0.01, you will get a charge. They will tell you it may be a little bit minute, but you will get a bill. that is there. And what are the factors for getting the pricing? These are the factors. And the last one, which is very, very important. Okay, storage classes. Now I will explain you about storage classes. Before I go for a storage classes, okay, is it clear, right? I am getting an X dollar. Like for your example, I'm getting $10 per month cost for S3. What is the reason I get $10? Because you need to check on the size of the files you kept it in S3. Duration is 1 month. Region is equal to North Virginia. Data usage is there. You are adding the files, you are downloading the files, and you have selected a storage class. Is it clear, right? So these are the factors for your AWS S3 pricing. Anyone has any questions, please let me know. Okay, so let's go into what is meant by storage classes. Very simple. What is meant by storage classes? Storage classes means pretty simple, sir. What AWS will say, it's very simple. I am asking a question. Maybe I'm asking a question to you. Maybe I'll take a name. No, this seems to be going into infinity. I'll take a name. Maybe I don't know how many people are active, but let's take an example. I'll take a name. Okay. Maybe uh, Suresh. Sir, are you there or Suresh or Yogendra? Are you there, guys?
I'm there, Suresh. Yugandhar here.
Yeah, very good, sir. Sir, I'm asking a simple question to you. Sir, if there is a very important file, very, very important file, I'll ask you, Suresh, please, please, please. This is very, 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 very critical file. I'm giving to you. Please take care. If I tell you like that, what do you do? I give that file to you and say, man, this is the most important file in your life. What do you do, sir, Suresh?
I place secure place. I will upload or I put it in the secure place which cannot be deleted. I miss
Okay,
which can,
that is what only you are going to do.
then
Tell
some
me.
protection. Protection. If important file, then some password protection kind of thing. Highly
Okay,
protect.
okay, good.
So we will
But
have
let me
multiple copies at different places.
Very good.
Mm.
So, if the file, you protect the file, but what happens if suddenly that particular file is getting corrupted? You will store that particular file. So, you have a file which is, I have a important file, and this is a very, very, very important file. What do? You take this file, store it in your laptop. You take this file and keep it in your hard disk. You take this file and move it into Google Drive. You take this one and you do an email. Yes or no? So what do? If it is an important file, you will do, you will keep in multiple location. And if there is one more file which is not at all important file, what do? You just keep it in your laptop. It's a single copy. Yes or no? Same thing AWS is also doing based on the storage classes which, okay, based on the storage classes. What is meant by storage classes? Now you can go and define. Now you can go and define. What is that you can go and define? Like for your example, you have a 5 GB of a file which is an important file. You keep it in S3. 5 GB, you keep it this file for a month. What is the price you get it? I get $5. Okay. Now you have another file which is 5 GB. You keep it per month. It is not at all an important file. You keep it in S3. What is the cost you will get it? You will get a cost $5 only. Now, with the help of the storage classes, it will change. If it is an important file, you will get $5. If it is a not important file, you will get $2. Is it clear, right? So, what is meant by storage classes? Based on the storage classes, what AWS will do, if it is a very important file, AWS will keep it in multiple locations, multiple copies. If it is not important, AWS will keep it in very less one, and the charges will also be very less. So, for your example, let us learn what is storage classes. Important, sir. Okay, write it down. Okay, there are multiple storage classes. So very simple, maybe write it down. There is a storage class called as standard. What is the meaning of standard? When you drag and drop a file, by default it is standard. Sir, what is the meaning of this standard? Frequently access data. Sir, if you are having a very important file and you frequently access that data, those kind of files you keep it in standard. Is it clear, right? What is the meaning of a standard? When you drag and drop a file into AWS, so what AWS will do, AWS will make sure your file is stored in equal, greater than or equal to 3 availability zones. So you have a region, right? This is one region. Let us take an example. This is Mumbai region. In Mumbai, you have availability zone A, availability zone B, and availability zone C. So when you drag and drop a file in AWS S3 with standard, AWS will keep one copy here, one copy here. Maybe in ninth floor, one copy, and in the first floor, you have a copy equal to 3 or greater than 3 copies, they will do it. If your file is 1 GB file, so what is happening? This is 1 GB, this is 1 GB, this is 1 GB, this is 1 GB. That means it is converting into 4 GB. That is the reason standard is little bit costly. But what AWS is doing, he is making multiple copies in multiple places. Why? Because you yourself said this particular file is important, so AWS is moving in multiple availability zones. The cost is also high here. Is it clear, guys? Anyone has any questions?
No, sir.
Fine.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. It's very simple. So you can consider these files as business critical files. I have a file. If that file is not there, my business will get impacted. My business gets impacted. That level of files, if you have, just move it in standard. Just give me 1 minute, guys. I'll bring. Uh, okay, Amorthajanam. So I'm just my nose is getting blocked. Just give me 1 minute. Sorry, guys. Hey guys, sorry, I'm back. So that those kind of files you keep it in
Kumar,
standard. Yes, sir.
Kumar, no need to stretch that much. If you want to take a rest, right? No,
No,
you
no, no,
can.
no. I'm feeling. I don't have fever. Yesterday I have a lot of fever. I don't have
Mm.
fever, but my no nostrils are blocked. That's not a problem. Not a problem. Good. Thanks, sir.
But don't take
Sir,
too much
you
of stretch actually.
not a problem. Thanks. Yeah. Standard is where you are accessing those files very frequently. You want the data in milliseconds, and it is a very important files. you keep it in greater than or equal to 3 available. You don't do it, AWS will automatically take care. You get basically little bit more cost, but it is important file. Now you have another one that is very similar, same SLA. Okay, standard AI. What is standard AI? These files are very, very important, but I don't use it frequently. Infrequently. AI means infrequently. Infrequently access data, but sir, I'm not going to use it frequently. I'm going to infrequently use it, but very, 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 very important business critical files. For an example, what is the files you keep it in standard? Like very, 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 very like for your example, sir, can you tell me example of control A, example of standard? So I would like to come up and say, sir, what kind of files I'll keep it in standard? Any images or any content which you are accessing very, very frequency, I'll use it in standard. What about standard AI in real time, standard AI infrequent access data? What is that? Example, database backups, production log files. These files I don't access very frequently. Database backup, I take it and keep it. Why? Tomorrow my database is compromised, my database is deleted, then I can restore back. Then only I use it. But these are very, very important files, sir. Production log files are there. Someone wants to go and check it out. Hey, last 5 days back something happened. Can you give me the log files? Then only you will go and check it out. So standard AI means standard infrequently access. Very important files, but I don't use it regularly. So those things you keep it in standard AI. If you see look at standard AI, you need to keep minimum 30 days. Okay, that is fine. Then you have something called as standard intelligent. Intelligent tire. Intelligent tire means, sir, I don't know whether I'm going to use it very frequently or I, I'm not going to use it frequently. I don't know. Is it clear, right? Intelligent tire means, what is the meaning of intelligent tire? I don't know the pattern whether I'm going to use it frequently or I'm not going to use it infrequently. So those kind of things, intelligent tire. Example, I will tell you an example. Example is sales data. Sales, you have an Excel sheet which is having a quarterly data. Sir, you don't access quarterly data at all, but once in a quarter, maybe the quarter like you have March quarter, then July, then you have something October quarter, you are coming, right? At the end of the quarter, you want to go and analyze the data, quarterly results that you use it very, 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 very frequently. Then after the quarter is completed, then you don't use access, then you don't do it. Those kind of access patterns and everything, you keep it in intelligent tire. Is it clear, right? Are you able to understand? Standard, standard infrequent, and intelligent tire. These three things. Next one. What is the next one? One zone AI. Sir, I'm not going to access my files very frequently and I want to store my files in only one zone. So what kind of files you keep it? Normal files, non-critical files. Normally, hey, I have a normal development file. I have my personal file which is not at all important. You can keep it here. So what is this one? It will only store in one availability zone. It is available fast for you. Minimum 30 days you are going to keep it. It is going to store it only in one availability zone, one zone AI. Is it clear, right? One zone AI. Okay, now maybe I'm going to ask, I'm going to twist you and I'm going to ask one question. Please tell me, sir, I have now I am asking you, maybe I'll ask a question to everyone, so please participate, sir. I have a file which is important. So let's take an example. I have a file which is very, very, very important. What is this file? Example is your grandparents' photos. Do you delete your grandparent photos? No. It is very, very important. Legacy of our family is important. Maybe grandparents photos, you don't delete it, but this file is there. So when you will open grandparent photos, your marriage photos, your or else very old photos, when do you open? Can anyone tell me?
Sir,
It,
once in a year, twice in a year, or 5 2 years
Yes,
once.
yes, once in a year, maybe there is a marriage event, then you will open it, or twice in a year, or some big event coming into picture, or your any relative came after 5 to 6 years, you want to refresh all your
Yes, sir.
memory, then you will open. So what is this one? This file is, first of all, forget about basically frequently access. You don't access for 1 2 years, sir. Then
Yes.
why do you keep it in S3? So there is a concept called as Glacier. Glacier is another AWS service, but it is integrated with S3. What is meant by Glacier? Very simple. What do you do right now, sir? This file, Glacier generally is 8 times less costlier than S3. It is 8 times cheaper than S3. So if it is 8 times cheaper than S3, everyone in the world will keep it in Glacier only because it is very cheap. No, sir. What is meant by Glacier? Please write it down. You will keep archival data in Glacier. What is meant by archival? Very simple. This file I will not at all use it. So what I will do, like I will take this file, I will zip it, or you have a concept called as rar, right? What is this rip and zar? You compress this basically file. So AWS will take this file, they will compress this file completely. So let us take an example. This file is 1 GB file. Can you tell me, you have a text file which is 1 GB. You compress it, how much size it will become? Anyone?
text maximum it is 100 MB less.
So it's
Not
depend
100
upon on
MB.
compression, which compression we
Yes,
are preferring, sir.
very good, very good. But as an example, if you use a very powerful compression, 1 GB of file when you compress, it will become 50 MB size. That's it. So what do? You take that particular file, you compress this file and take this file and store it in basically in another disk or basically tape. I'll store this file. No one has an access this file. So what is that one? It is inaccessible as an example, and it is very cheap because you compress it. Now you request a file. What will happen? This file is not accessible because this file is present in a separate tape disk. So it will take some time. You need to request for this file. If you want to access this file, you need to request is, it will take few hours to get the file because AWS has to decompress and give it to you, right? So that is the reason it will take time. So what is meant by a glacier? Glacier, you are going to keep all the archival data. It is very less in terms of cost. So what kind of files you will keep it? Any files you want to keep it more than 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 10 years, long data, very important data where you cannot delete it, you want to keep it, then you can keep it in something called as Glacier. Is it clear, guys? Anyone has any questions? Is it clear what is meant by a
Yes, sir.
Glacier? So Glacier is nothing but archival storage. Glacier is nothing but archival storage. You can use that here also. There are one, two, three glaciers are there. You select this glacier, glacier instance relief. It has the mechanism. This is not storing in tape. Long-lived archive data accessible once in a quarter with instance retrieve in milliseconds. So what do you do? As an example, long lived data. As these files are very, very important, they are going to keep it in all the three availability zone. And there is another concept called as glacier. Okay, for glacier flexible retrieve, what is happening? You add the data, the file gets stored, and it will store it in a tape. When you want to access the data, it will take some minutes to hours to get the file. AWS S3 is instantly you click on the file, it will download, right? But Glacier, when you request it, it will take like 20 minutes to get the file or 1 hour to get the file because it is compression ratio is there. It will compress and give it to you days. You have another concept called as Glacier Deep Archive. It will use very, very, very high compression, long live archive database, and you want to access less than once in 1 year. And if you want to retrieve, it will take hours to get retrieve, but very, very, very less cost, very, very less cost and important file. Minimum you are going to keep it 180 days, 190 days like that. Clear, guys?
Yes.
Clear? Okay. So that is there. This is Glacier. And the last one, reduce redundancy. Never tell or in an interview you use reduce redundancy. You should never use reduce redundancy. What will happen if I select reduce redundancy? See here, sir. See, there is a warning coming. Reduce redundancy storage class is not recommended because see here, what is reduce redundancy when you use it? It's very clearly saying your non-critical files. Are non-critical files, if it is not at all critical, then why are you keeping in three availability zone? And if you go and select this one, this storage class is more costlier than standard, and this does not make any sense. Is it clear? It does not make any sense. So don't use in an interview or anyone what is meant by reduced redundancy storage class.
Sir, then why we are having this option, sir, in storage?
Maybe so they provided this option if you want to replicate your production test environment with non-critical files
Okay, sir.
because it has to be in three availability zones, right?
Yes.
That is the reason they would have provided, but don't use it. 2016, one of my students lost third round of interview. Unfortunately, that is my mistake. I would have explained it little bit better. But one of my student third year, he said like third round, what kind of storage classes you're using? Reduced redundancy storage classes I'm using, he said. So he did not get selected. That was my mistake. I would have highlighted that we should not tell it, but that's past is past. I cannot change the future. I can change the future, not the past. So just keep it in your mind. Non-critical file, but you get more cost than standard. That is called as reduced redundancy. Anything you can change it anytime. You have a file which is standard, just move it into standard infrequently, intelligent tire, one zone, all these things you can move it. But once you move it into Glacier, from Glacier you want to move it into standard, it will not do immediately. So keep it in your mind. Hope you understood what is meant by storage classes. I personally recommend you go to AWS storage classes, read. Okay, storage classes SLA, service level agreement. So storage classes, what is durability? 99.99999 percentage. What is availability? 99.99 percentage. They provide certain SLAs. Please study about SLA. See here, sir. What is this one? AWS standard. What is meant by standard? Features are design durability. When you keep the file in S3, it is 99 point total 9 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 total 11 nines basically they're providing designed for availability. If you click on it, 99.99 percentage available. Sir, what is meant by 99.99 percentage? See here, What is meant by 99.99 percentage? It's very clearly saying AWS is provide a promise. AWS S3 daily 8.6 seconds only S3 file will be not accessible as a promise. So yearly, total year when you keep a file in AWS S3, 52 minutes, 9.8 seconds, your S3 files may not be available. But what is meant by 99.123456789? What is the meaning of this one? If you see, in a total year, 0.031 seconds the file will be not accessible. That is the power of basically the service level agreement. AWS is going for this one. Please, please, please go for the features of all these service level agreements. All these things are very, 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 very important. Is it clear, guys? Clear? Any questions
Yes, sir.
anyone has? Please go through. One AWS certification question is guarantee on that storage class. One AWS certification you'll get it.
Okay.
Okay. So let's go for another one. So let us talk about some limitations of S3. It's not limitation of S3, but let's write it down. Okay. So if you see, so what is the size of S3 bucket? Okay. Size of S3 bucket is unlimited, no size. But what is the size of single object, one file size? Okay, okay, what is the size? So size of a single object, size of a single, okay, size of a single object manually. When you want to drag from your laptop, drag and drop the file size of a single object manually when you're dragging and dropping, it is going to be, okay, 5 TB. Okay, that is there. Now, the size of a single object, again, please write it down. This is very important. The size of a single object is 5 GB maximum when you do an automation. Sir, I want to write a program. Let's take an example. There is a files. There are set of files. You want to write a program, Java program, Python program, where automatically every half an hour it will go, take the files and move it into S3. Automatically, if you want to do it right, when you're writing an automation, each individual object is 5 size, 5 GB size automatically. So automation, when you're writing an automation, keep it in your mind. The file size automation is 5 GB, and when you're manually dragging and dropping, the file size is 5 TB. So keep it in your mind. Very, 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 very important. Is it clear, guys? Now, so what I want to convey the message to you, let us take an example. What do? You tell me. There is a file. You have your own laptop. Now you are writing a program. You are writing a program, and there is a file here. What is this file? This file is 8 GB file. You want to take this file and move it into S3. Is it possible? Yes, no, how it is possible? Is it possible, sir? Sir, what do you want to do? You have a file, okay? You want to upload into AWS S3. That file is 8 GB.
Actually, it's not possible, sir, because of its size is 8 GB, but
Yes,
S3
it
is
is not.
access only 5 GB.
Yes, the if you see the second point,
Yes, sir,
yeah,
it's okay, sir.
yeah. So can you mute your system, sir? Yeah. So if you see the second, okay, uh, I can see my voice again. Wait a minute, I'll unmute. I'll mute everyone. Okay. I think I muted everyone. You can unmute and speak if you have any question. Second point clearly says when you are doing an automation using a program and everything, okay, when you're doing an automation, so what is the limit of automation? 5 GB. Okay, so the file size is 8 GB. You cannot move it. Then if this task is given to you, what do you do, sir? Can you tell me what do you do? What are the things
So
where you can
we
do?
will we will go with manual option, sir.
No, sir, I don't want to go to manual option. I
You might
want
need
my
to
program.
split the data and shell it.
Yes. So what do you do? In generally, you cut this file into two pieces by using splitter. There are a lot of splitter softwares which are there. You can cut this file into 4 GB, 4 GB, and then move the file 4 GB and 4 GB. Okay. The problem, let us take an example. I'm taking one name. Let us take an example. Yogender is there. Yogender is having a software called as Yogender File Splitter. So what I will do, I will take Yogender software and I will cut that file into two pieces and move it into S3. Tomorrow, I want to download the file into my laptop and attach these two files. How I cut this file into two pieces with Yogender software. How do I want to attach these two files? I have to attach these two files with Yogender's file only. Splitting is Yogender software. Attaching Yogender software. So let us assume I've taken Yogender software. I split my files for 1 year. I kept splitted everything. After one day, I realize Yogender software, splitter software, Yogender has moved out of the company. He is not getting any profits. Now Yogender software itself is not there. Then what is my case now? How do I attach it right now? I need Yogender software. I am in danger right now. So why did you dependent on third party splitters, which is very dangerous, right? If you use them, tomorrow that company is not there, you are in danger. So that is the reason. Please write it down. If you have a file which is greater than 5 GB, you want to cut that file into multiple pieces and move it to AWS S3. AWS has provided a concept called as, please write it down. Okay, the concept is called as multi-part uploads API. So AWS is providing an API. AWS is providing API language in any language, sir, Java, Python, Ruby, everything they're providing. That is concept is called as multi-part upload. What is the meaning of multi-part upload? With this multi-part upload, you multi-part means you can cut the file into multiple parts and then upload it. So this is called as multi-part upload. This I will not explain you this one. This is theoretically, this is a developer work. Developer will write a program and AWS has provided lot of sample codes. How do you write a Java program to cut it into multiple pieces? Like this one. If you click on it, lot of companies have provided, sir. If you see, you can write, see, how do you write a multi-part upload? You can come up and specify this file, size this one. You can request the file. You can write a neat program which can do multi-part upload. If you see upload path, resolve the file, the code. This is all about coding, sir. but you also have a concept. How do you use it? Don't use other third party and all those things. Use an API which AWS is providing, multi-pod upload for cutting the files as well as tomorrow attaching the files. This is called as multi-pod upload. Is it clear, guys? Is it clear? Anyone has any questions? Is it clear?
Yes.
And Kumar, we need to
Yes,
specify
sir.
how many splits has to be done, or otherwise,
You are the
uh,
owner. Yes, you are the owner. Yes, you will be telling that. Generally, the recommendation from AWS, this is only general recommendation from AWS. There is no need to follow. AWS will say any file which is greater than 100 MB, cut it into multiple pieces, he will say. Let us take an example. Your file is 500 MB. He will say, cut that file into 5 pieces. That is AWS recommendation. Okay. Is it must to follow? No, it is not must to follow. I never followed it. But what is the thing what you need to do? You cannot keep a file which is more than 5 GB. So what do? You cut it into 5 GB pieces and then you move it. It's all up to you. How do you want to do it? You will specify the size.
okay.
Got it, sir? Hope it is
Kumar,
very clearly explained you. I explained
Sir.
everything in S3 object. Everything is completed except one concept. I'll explain you this concept. Please, I will forget. That is the reason. Please write it down and please remember me this one after S3
S3
bucket
consistent.
properties are S3 consistency. I will explain you once the S3 bucket properties are completed. So I will forget at that period of time. Please remember me this one. I will explain you this one when S3 bucket properties are completed. I will jump into bucket properties right now. Before I jump into S3 bucket properties, anyone has any questions, please let me know. Is it clear, guys?
Yes.
Okay, that's fine. So what is an object? So object is nothing but a file. There is a file and we studied this particular file properties. But let us take an example. I have a bucket. Bucket contains not one file, multiple files, multiple folders. Now I want to manage these files. I want to go and provide Yogender. I want to go and provide this folder is sales folder. I want to provide Yogender full permissions on sales folder. And the sales folder contains some 1,000 files. I don't want to go to each and every individual files like this one and provide permissions or all those things. If you want to control something on a bucket level, you have a concept called as bucket properties. Is it clear? Bucket properties. So you go back to AWS S3. So this is individual files. Go back to the bucket. Select a bucket. Select a bucket. Then you have bucket properties. Click on the bucket properties. You have various properties of bucket you will go through. Is it clear, sir? Various properties of a bucket you can go through. Let us go one by one. So bucket properties, please participate if you still have any questions on object properties. Okay, just go through the three things. What is that thing? Region, which region the bucket is present. As I mentioned you, AWS S3 is region based. Okay, AWS S3 is region based. The bucket ARN number they have provided. When the bucket is created, okay, the bucket is created at this particular time, so they provided. Okay, now So I think I'll tell you very, very simple. It's important. So let's go through the very basics. Then we will go for very important, like very basics, which we already know, like tags. This bucket is created by whom? Add a tag. This bucket is owned by whom? Tata company. Add a tag. This bucket basically is what department owns it? Sales and marketing owns it. You can add multiple tags, which is you already know about this one. Okay. You also have a concept called as cloud trial. So you remember, right? Cloud trial and okay, what is cloud trial? So very, 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 very important, sir. Now I'll go to explain you what is meant by cloud trial. So you know what is meant by cloud trial. You already know it. But let us take an example where this cloud trial will help you out. See, this is your bucket and you have lot of files. All are very, very important file. 4 files are there. Multiple users are logging into this one. Yogendra is logging, Satish is logging, Sandeep is logging. But let's take an example. By mistake or wantedly or by mistakenly, I'm taking a simple hypothetical situation. Okay, Yogendra has deleted this file, which is a very, very, very important file where customers are using this file. He deleted the file. He deleted the file. So customers are using these files and he deleted. Customer gets very angry now. Customer will go and raise a ticket because the file got deleted. No one knows it as an example. No one knows it. The file is deleted. So your file is deleted by Yogendra. No one has known it. Customer got very angry. He waited for 1-2 hours. Then he created a severity one ticket. Then you see the ticket and then you find it out. The file is deleted. Then you ask who deleted the file? Who deleted the file? Everyone are quiet. They said like I did not delete. I did not delete. I did not delete. Who deleted? Then how do you know? So there is a concept where this is your bucket. You can track all the bucket events. Who is deleting the files? Like who is deleting the files? Who is inserting the files? Who is getting the files, who is uploading the files, all these things you can store it in using cloud trial and cloud trial store the data in another S3 bucket. Another, make sure you keep another bucket. This bucket is A and whatever the activities which are happening on bucket A, whatever the activities which is happening on bucket A, basically in bucket B, it are getting captured. Okay, so who is capturing that one? Cloud trial is capturing that one, and then here you have all the logs. Okay, now you can go to the logs and it will clearly come up and say the file 1.txt file is deleted by Yogendra. Then you can ask Yogendra, hey Yogendra, why did you delete it, man? Is it clear, right? The problem here is with the help of cloud trial, you enable it. Okay, S3 bucket level server, S3 basically events are caught here. I already enabled it. Either you can go to cloud trial, enable, create a trial, or you can do it from here. See here, sir, what did I did it? So there is something called as, let me show you. It will go to cloud trial only. I created a cloud trial. I created a cloud trial. What is this cloud trial? So cloud trial is nothing but it will go and store all the logs in this bucket. So if you see how my logs are there in that bucket, I'll just take an example only. If you see, it will store the bucket like this one. Cloud trial diagnostic, cloud trial. Cloud trial, it is storing which region, which year, 2019, which month, 3 months, which date first, and then you have all the log files. Is it clear? It stores all the JSON content, all the log files it is present. So you have this content available. Cloud Trial, each and every event, whatever you're doing on a bucket number A, you want to track what are the activities on bucket number A. Okay, if you want to do this one, it will provide you that capabilities. So with the help of Cloud Trial, you have a logging mechanism to identify what are the events which are happening on AWS S3, so that tomorrow anyone is deleting a file, anyone is updating the file, anyone is doing, you know who is doing, what is doing. No one can escape with the help of Cloud Trial. Is it clear, guys? So on AWS S3 bucket level, you can create another bucket, bucket A, and you can say, please capture my data events. So how do you do this one? So let's take an example. You can do like this one, sir. Go to Cloud Trial. Okay, I'll sign off 2 minutes early, sir. Uh, okay, so you can create a Cloud Trial and you can select create a bucket. So create a bucket or select a bucket, and you want to capture all the events, right? You click on next and it will ask you, click on next. It will ask you, what do you want to capture? So you have a option called as data event. You can uncheck and you can say, I want to capture all the data events. So data event, which events? Now you can select data events of S3. What events? Only deletes or anything? All events. Read, write and everything. Provide a selector and then click on create. So click on create. Now all the logs will be created on that bucket, whatever you're doing. Is it clear, guys? Is it clear? What is the use of a Cloud Trial? Cloud Trial, now bucket level auditing logs are available in Cloud Trial. And the storage is storing in S3 one other bucket. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. If it is clear, I would like to sign off right now because the next topic will take me 10 minutes of time. So I'll sign off right now. Okay. I'll sign off.
Sure.
Let's see you tomorrow. Continuation of bucket tomorrow and day after tomorrow. 2 days I require to complete S3 bucket policies. S3 bucket policies. Okay.
So tomorrow we will have
Okay, guys.
online classes.
Tomorrow I'll should be coming into classroom. If everything I am okay, fever is not there, but I have a very high cold and cough. But if I'm in education, if everything goes well, then I will come to the class. You'll get an information, sir. Mostly it will be a classroom.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Okay, guys. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.